Topic Tuesday to you. For Topic Tuesday today, we are going to talk about the Diorskin Star Foundation. This has been probably the most requested review of a foundation that I think I have ever had, quite frankly. Maybe the Estee Lauder Double Wear, which is right up there, but that one is coming. I am doing this at the same time as Kristin is. If you've been around a little bit, you know that she and I tend to do foundation review videos at the same time because she has a younger, more oily skin type and I am more mature, shall we say, and more to the dry side. Now, having said that, I do feel like my skin is in the best condition it's been in a very long time. I don't feel as dry as I normally do this time of year, but I definitely still lean towards the dry side of things. So yeah, if you are not my skin type and are interested in hearing how this works on an oily skin type, I will have Kristin linked below as well as her video, so go ahead and check her out. All right, so what I always do with foundation reviews, in case you are new to one of my reviews, is I have a little kind of 5-point system. There are 5 categories. Each category gets a point and then I give you a total at the end. So let's go ahead, and before I get into that, I'm going to cut to the demo of me applying the foundation and then we'll come back and talk about what I think. Okay, so the combo that I have found works best for me of these two shades is 2 pumps of the 10 and then 1 pump of the 20. And I just do that on my hand or on a little Bath & Body Works scale at the top or whatever, you know, whatever I have that works. And just dot that all over my face. And then I have tried a bunch of different ways to apply this. I have tried my fingers, I've tried a couple of other foundation brushes, I've tried the Beauty Blender, and I'm kind of torn between the Beauty Blender and this, which is the Real Techniques Airbrush Buffing Foundation number 110. And I just kind of, you know, stipple it around a little bit and then work it in. And there are foundations that I feel like require the Beauty Blender, like the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I really prefer the application of that with the Beauty Blender. But then there are ones that can kind of go either way. And I just feel like this one can go either way. There you go. So you can see the coverage of that. So I kind of do that. Like you saw how much I dotted. I have a little bit left on my hand. And I will just take my brush right into it. And I'm just kind of, you know, stippling it kind of all over my hand in here. And I just go into like my rosy red cheeks where I want a little bit more coverage. Kind of do the same thing. Wipe the excess off on the towel that's always in my lap. And just buff it in. Make sure I get up into my hairline. And then I always make sure that I bring it down here, over onto my ears a little bit. So that is what it looks like after. Okay, so let's talk about shade range to start with. I gave this a 0.75 for color range or shade range, and there are 14 of them, and they do kind of run the gamut from light to dark. And I'm hesitant even to give it the 3/4 of a point. I kind of feel like I want to give it a 1/2 point because I feel like there's a lot of area in between the two, like in between 8 shade ranges. Okay, so what I mean by that is this is the 10 and then this is the 20, and I put them here on my hand for you to see. Do you see the difference between the two? That's a huge difference in my opinion. I really feel like there could probably be something in between those, but like I said, it's a pretty decent shade range, so I'm giving it 3/4 of a point, but I kind of feel like I should only be giving it a 1/2 point. But anyway, so that is that. All right, let's talk about the coverage, which you saw in the demo. I probably should have opened with that, but I was all about talking about the shade range. The coverage is really nice. This definitely, if you use this with a Beauty Blender, you can shear it out. You can use just the tiniest bit even and shear it out and get a nice medium coverage. I don't think you can get a light coverage with this. I think there's definitely more oomph to it, which is one of the reasons that I like it. But you can build it up to full coverage. Now, since the demo, I did put on just a very light dusting of the Laura Mercier Pressed Minerals in Natural Beige, but just the tiniest little bit. And I'm going to talk more about other powders that I used with it. So for coverage, I give it a full point because for me, fuller coverage, or at least the ability to have fuller coverage, is important. So I'm giving it the full point on that. Packaging, very, very nice. It's glass. You can't travel, well, okay, you can travel with it, but travel at your own risk. But it is very nice. And it comes with a pump. I will almost give a foundation a full point right off the bat if it has a pump. I just don't understand this day and age why, unless the foundation doesn't lend itself well to being pumped out, but at any rate, give us a pump already. So that is the packaging. Let's talk about longevity. This foundation lasts forever. It is really, it is the closest to the two that I have loved in the past for longevity are the CoverGirl 3-in-1 Outlast and then the Estee Lauder Double Wear. Those have been my favorites thus far as having a decent finish and lasting a really long time. This one is right up there with those. It really does last very, very well. Full point for longevity. It lasts. And I also don't find that it's difficult to remove. Sometimes longer wear foundations, like when I wear Estee Lauder Double Wear, I am really, really careful about making sure that I get every little bit of it off. And, you know, I'm the same obviously with anything, but you know what I mean. If you have one that just really sticks to your skin, you want to make sure that you really get it off. And this one I don't have to do anything special extra to get it off. It comes off very easily with my normal cleansers. The last category that I have is finish, and I'm giving it a 0.75. And the only reason that it's losing the 2.25 is because I feel like it takes a good hour for it to look really good on my skin. It looks nice after first application, and it looks fine. But after about an hour, something happens. I don't know what it is, but something happens and it just really smooths over. Does that make any sense? I'm curious if any of you guys have tried this, if you know what I'm talking about. So for me, the only reason it loses the 0.25 is because it just takes a little bit to get to that, but it really does have a very nice finish. Okay, so just a couple of things that I want to talk about with it is, you definitely can wear this on its own. You don't have to put a powder over the top of it. But I just really like to do that. What's funny is that I just heard Monsieur Alex say that, and I'll list him below if you guys don't know who he is. He said, you know, wearing foundation without a powder over the top of it is kind of like wearing nail polish with a top coat. And I was like, yes, I totally agree with that. I just like to put something over my foundation. So I have tried this with my Burberry powder foundation over the top of it. I liked that. I like it. I used this a lot when I was just trying to test different colors and shades and what was going to work for me. This is the Chanel. I used to talk about this all the time. It's still my favorite loose, translucent powder. I tried the Laura Mercier Loose Minerals, but I think my absolute favorite was the Laura Mercier Pressed Minerals. It just adds a little bit of coverage with a fluffier brush. I used that and added a little bit more coverage and it doesn't add to the longevity, but just adds to the evening everything out. Oh, I'm making so much sense today. So the foundation sells for $50. I purchased mine during the VIB sale and then ended up going back to get another shade. It just, I tried to make the 20 work for me, and then I went back and got 10 thinking, it was the lightest one. And that one was too light for me, so I definitely need to have both shades. So having said that, I am going to keep them both. I have used them long enough that I'm not comfortable returning them at this point either. I'm giving this a 4.5, which it's got to be up there. I actually don't keep track of what all of the foundations that I review score, like in a spreadsheet or something. I probably should. That's something I would totally do. But I'm definitely giving it a 4.5. It's a very nice foundation. Definitely worth the money. I'm not sure if it was worth $100, which is what I basically had to spend in order to get a shade to match me. But I think that between these two shades, I should be able to wear it year round and just adjust it accordingly. In the summer, maybe I might be able to just get away with a 20. my skin doesn't get super dark in the summer, but I do get a little bit more color. So I hope that this was helpful for you. I really do like this foundation. I do recommend it. I hope for you that you can find it in a shade that you don't need to have 2 of them. But I will continue to use this. I have other ones. I'm going to put it to the side just for a little bit because I do have some other foundation reviews I have promised to you guys. But really do like it. I recommend it. I didn't think I was going to right off the bat. It took me some time to really figure out how it worked well for me, application wise as well as color shade wise, but I like it. I'm a big fan. So on my face today I have the MAC in Dimension or Extra Dimension in Sweet Heat just all over my lid. And then for my other, you know, kind of shades, transition, deepen things up, I have the Becca Ombre Nude Eye Palette. For blush today, I have the MAC Mineralized Blush in Gentle. Apparently I have to say that gently. In Gentle? Oh, Kristin. And then for lips today, I have the lip liner in, this was a suggestion from a friend of mine, the lip liner in Vino from MAC. I'm just going to give you a little kind of shot of what that looks like there. And I lined my 2/3 from bottom to top and top to bottom, if you know what I mean, of my lips. And then over the top of that, I have MAC's Pervette, which I just had to clean it off, but I'm not sure if you'll be able to see. That's what it looks like on its own, but that is what it looks like over the top of that liner. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you're having a great day, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye!